Live for God Studio Productions.
This is Cooking with Brian, a cooking show with food that actually tastes great.
Well, hello there, folks. Welcome to Cooking with Brian. Today, we are going to fix Brian's famous ground beef vegetable soup. But, first of all, you must come up with a cup of coffee, friends. Because without coffee, we just don't have enough energy to cook. So, go ahead and grab you a cup of coffee, and we're going to go through the ingredients you need, friends. You need at least 1 pound of hamburger meat, ground beef. You will need 3 of these 1 pound 12 ounce cans of whole peeled tomatoes. The sizes could be a little bit different, possibly, but usually 1 pound 12 ounces. You need some cans of vegetables. I got a large can of the good premium stuff because it was on sale. I got a can of the cheap mixed vegetables. We got a can of corn. You can also add cans of peas, cans of green beans, whatever you want to add, friends. You also need 1 onion. For spices today, you will need oregano leaves, basil leaves, onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, and you will also need some salt, friends. And also you will need 1 can of diced tomatoes. Does not matter if it's a regular size can or a large size like I have here, because in Kansas City at Price Chopper they have a section that's pretty cheap, friends. It's only like $1.19, and I got a big can of diced tomatoes. So friends, grab you some coffee and let's get her done. Okay, friends, we're going to go through the disclaimers for the day. Anything good that happens, you can give me the credit for it, but even more so give the Lord credit that you're here to make this food and enjoy it. Your disclaimers are, anything bad that happens is your fault, not my fault. If you get burnt, cut, injured in any kind of way, it's your fault, friends, not mine. If one of your housemates happens to be mad at you because you made a disaster, it's your fault. It's never Brian's fault. Repeat after me, it is never Brian's fault for anything bad, only good things. Brian is here as a blessing, not as a curse. So anything good that happens from this cooking show, anything good is my fault, anything bad is your fault, including sticking yourself with knives, burning yourself, even getting burnt with your coffee, friends, is your fault, not mine. You take full responsibility for all bad things. And on Cooking with Brian, we're here to help you understand things like this, friends. Jesus Christ died to save sinners, friends. Make sure you remember that. Okay, let's get busy. Okay, folks, you want to dice you up an onion. If you cut yourself, it's your fault. Call 911 and get to the emergency room. It's your fault. This is what it should look like when you get it done. The onion all diced up. Next thing you want to do is get you a large pan, friends. Go ahead and dump your diced up onions. You can dice the onion up any way you want, but if you hurt yourself or others, it's your fault, not mine. Put all the diced up onions in the pan. Good idea to wash your hands before you touch your eyes. Okay friends, then take your 1 pound of ground beef. Go ahead and slap that in the big pan. Throw this away. Wash your hands without touching anything. Okay friends, and you want to go ahead and turn the proper burner on. Stick it on about the 5 o'clock position. Fry your hamburger and onions until it's fully cooked, browned a little bit, not very much. Okay folks, just keep breaking up the burger and make sure you keep stirring it around good. Cook it all the way, unless you're one of them nasty people that likes to eat a mooing cow. Very disgusting. Remember, we're teaching you to cook this stuff all the way. If you eat the stuff rare and you get Alzheimer's or mad cow disease, as they like to call it, or they call it Alzheimer's, it's mad cow disease from eating raw, undercooked meats. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a scientist, but I'm smart enough to know that they like to call things something else when it's another, friends. So that's my opinion, friends, that Alzheimer's happens to be mad cow disease from eating undercooked beef. So if you eat undercooked beef, you take full responsibility. In fact, if you cook it all the way and it's still poisoned, it's your fault, or your spouse's, or somebody in your family's probably. Could have came that way from wherever you got it from too. From the dead cow laying in the road. Either way, it's your fault, friends, if you get sick or die. Brian is only responsible for Brian. Maybe you should pray for your food, folks. Okay, folks, while our food's cooking, we're just sitting here watching fish, friends. Watching my fish doing their swimming. Don't let your food burn while we're watching the fish, friends. Make sure you keep stirring it occasionally, friends. Got a yellow one in there somewhere. Goldie, we're waiting for Goldie to come out. I don't know where she's at. There she is. Looky, there she is. There's Goldie. Looky, Dawn, it's Goldie. Okay, friends, make sure you keep stirring this stuff, mixing it all up, breaking it down. You don't want it down into a fine powder or anything, but you do want it in small enough pieces to where it's cooking good. And you want to make sure you mix it all around to where all the onions and stuff cooks through pretty decent. If you want to, you can go ahead and you can actually throw some garlic powder and onion powder in here to give the meat extra flavor, but that's your call. Whatever you want to do. I'm not going to do it right now. Okay, folks, on a day like today is a great day. A great day for soup. You see it snowed out there. Come here, dog. Come here. See, if your dog comes in from the snow, you gotta make sure you dry her off real good. Come here. You gotta get you dry, Goofy. You gotta get the mud off of you. Make sure you wash your hands before you monkey with your soup after wiping the dog off. Okay, folks, after your stuff starts to brown just a little bit, go ahead and stir it up good. Shut your heat, your burner off. Make sure you stir it good and remove it from the hot burner without touching the hot burner. This time we're going to go ahead and throw our spatula in the sink to clean. Okay friends, then you want to take your can of diced tomatoes, don't matter if it's a big can or a small can. Go ahead and open it up. Okay, there's no need to drain it, just go ahead and dump it just like it is. You want to go ahead and add all your regular vegetables. Do not put the whole peeled tomatoes in, but all your other vegetables you can put in there. Now, this is a small can of mixed vegetables. Just stick in there. Okay, and we get a large can of mixed vegetables. You ain't got to drain nothing out of them, just dump it in there. Alright, it's been a couple minutes, so we're going to go ahead and stick it on the hot burner. Okay, and go ahead and stick it on. Don't put it up real high yet. We might turn it up in a little bit, but right now we're just going to put it on about the 8 o'clock position. Okay folks, and it's a good idea to make sure you still have coffee around. Good stuff. Okay folks, and you want to get you a blender, a large blender. This one just happens to be like from the year 2001, and this is now 2019, almost 2020, so it's pretty old, friends. I'm waiting on a good Christmas gift to replace it. Okay folks, go ahead and dump your whole peeled tomatoes in there. No need to drain it. You want to do like one can at a time, unless you have like a giant blender that could hold more. Okay, you can go ahead and dump that in there. Now, if for some reason that your pan is not big enough to fit it all, you can cut down on the number. You can cut down on the number of cans of tomatoes you put in there if you need to. Okay folks, it looks like my pan's pretty full. I don't need to put the third can of tomatoes in, so we're just going to stop there with 2 cans and add some water. You may not have to put a lot of water in there, it depends on how much room you have. Next thing you want is you want to get you a ladle. Now this soup we got here is going to be pretty hearty because I have lots of vegetables in there. You can have it as thick or as thin as you want. You'd have to have more room to make it thinner at this point because we have lots of vegetables in here, friends. But we only used 2 cans of the whole peeled tomatoes. That's all we had room for with all the other vegetables, but that's fine. Okay folks, for your spices, the first thing you want is you want to put some salt in there. That's about 20 dashes probably of salt. You can put more or less to your taste. You want to start out with some garlic powder. There's about maybe 8 dashes of garlic powder. The onion powder, you can put much heavier, about 10 to 16 dashes, your choice. Put about 8 dashes of oregano leaves. About the same thing, 8 to 10 dashes of basil leaves. Do not put your black pepper in yet. You want to wait till the soup is hot enough to put it in there. Once you got it simmering, you can put the black pepper in. You want to do it to taste, and this is what really gives soup. This is my secret to making soup taste good, and I learned that from being in the Marine Corps. The Navy cooks always disguised their soup with black pepper. Black pepper makes it taste good no matter what other ingredients you have in there. So you want to put anywhere from 1/4 teaspoon to as much as 1 teaspoon of black pepper. I would suggest you only put in up to 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, but you want to sprinkle it lightly all the way around and make sure it stirs good. Don't dump it in one big pile or it'll clump together, friends. Keep it stirred. We're going to go ahead and turn it up right now to about the 6 o'clock position till we see it starting to bubble, and then we're going to turn it back down to about the 8 o'clock position or less. Stir occasionally and watch your soup to make sure it's not going to boil over or anything like that. If you need to, you can turn it down some more. Cook it for about 1 hour. Okay folks, and that's how you make my delicious ground beef vegetable soup. Great on a cold snowy day like today. Hope that's a blessing to you. It's a good idea also to fix some biscuits to go along with your soup, friends. Hope that was a blessing to you. Bye, y'all.